everyone, welcome to episode 2. Thank you for being here. In this video, I'll be sharing a personal experience I had with a pretty amazing being who took the vow not to eat or speak, and she taught the lesson of humility. Then I'll be sharing some benefits of being humble, and that how help is just around the corner. All we need to do is ask. So while I was with my teacher in India, we met some pretty amazing personalities who had depth of knowledge through direct experience. And one fine day, this lady had come to see us, to visit the teacher. And I was told she doesn't eat nor does she speak. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And when I saw her, you could immediately tell she was drawn within, and her silence spoke louder than words. Like when she entered the room, the energy of the place shifted. So I knew there was something there. And then, being inquisitive by nature and always trying to see the best effective way from A to B, I was like, I gotta ask her some questions, and maybe I can pick up some tools that will help me along my journey. So I wrote down a question. I got my teacher's consent, who likes that we learn from everything around us, and off I went. And she was kind enough to write an answer to my question, and that's how the learning began. One day she looks at me and starts doing this. I'm like, what is she talking about? And then she writes, ego spikes. I'm like, me? That's a spike right there. She goes, sometimes you think you know more than somebody else. Where are you from? So she's writing this. Where are you from? I said, I'm from Canada. Do you know the geography and history of Canada, USA, India, and the world? I said, no. Do you know the ancestral traditions, customs, and modern science? I said, no. Do you know India's rich heritage? And by this time, I'm sinking. I'm getting what she's trying to tell me, but I'm sinking at the same time. And she continues. Do you know the scriptures, language, music, arts, science, industries, cooking, dance, drama? I said, no. And she said, what of higher wisdom? We have a TV and we watch a television show on that TV, on the screen. The antenna picks up the frequency. It captures the signal and you watch the TV show. In the same way, all knowledge already is present in the space. All that you have done is connected to the frequency, captured the signal, but you claim, I know. Always be humble. Even for the basic things like the food chain, we have the earthworm, the soil, the earthworm, the insects maintain the nutrients, the birds cause cross-pollination and therefore hybrids. Then we have the transport, the people who have made the transport that gets to the market. You have a buyer and seller. You have someone who made the shops. Then you have exchange of money going to the bank. So where is the independence in all this? That I know. Leave off the pride. That session was a TKO, a great lesson in humility, and continues to be. That knowledge and all that is around us adds to who we are, allows us to grow, but not to let it get to the head. I was reading some benefits of having humility, and they were sense of curiosity, learner's mindset, better to able to collaborate, perform, communicate, a drive to serve, and a knowingness to ask when we don't know. In an article called How Humility Will Make You the Greatest Person Ever by Vicki Zakrzewski, sorry for the pronunciation, education director at the Greater Good Science Center in Berkeley, she writes, research suggests that this lovely quality is good for us individually and for our relationships. For example, humble people handle stress more effectively and report higher levels of physical and mental well-being. There are so many benefits, but one that I found quite helpful was the ability to ask for guidance when you don't know, whether it be of friends, family, colleagues, or the universe itself. So one day I wasn't sure about taking a certain decision, and a little anxious about what the outcome could be. So as I was walking, I resigned to the fact I really didn't know what to do. So I stepped out of the way and basically said, boss, I need your help. And that's what I did. And a few minutes later, there was a guy jogging, and he's jogging towards me with his headphones on. As soon as he passes me, he says, face your fear. I was like, what? I turn around and he continues jogging. And so I was like, okay. Then a few minutes later, there's a post-it note right on my pathway. And I picked it up and it read, I do not fear. Fear is the mind killer. I face my fear. I embrace my fear. I love my fear. I let it pass over and through me. And when it has gone, only I will. Thereafter, I intuitively knew what to do, but this wouldn't have happened unless I stepped out of the way and asked. And sometimes we got to be patient for the answer, but the key is to ask. So humility is a superpower, and I would recommend reading the above mentioned article by Vicki, where she describes more about what science says about humility, and 3 research-based ways to cultivate it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next. Take care. Have an amazing day.